Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Memorizing the Latin Endings. This is from Visual Latin. This is a bonus episode to Lesson 29 in Visual Latin 1, and today we're talking about the fourth declension. Let's look at the fourth declension endings. The fourth declension endings are easy to get confused with the second declension masculine endings because in the nominative, just like in the second declension masculine, the fourth declension ends with us. After that, the confusion goes away because in the genitive it also ends with us. In the dative, it ends with ui. In the accusative, just like in the second declension masculine and neuter, it ends again with so I suppose you could get confused there. In the ablative, it's you. In the plural, strangely enough, it's us again. We'll talk about that in just a second. In the genitive, so In the dative, ibus, just like in third declension, a lot of the patterns repeat in Latin. In fourth declension plural, accusative, it's us again, and then in the ablative, it's ibus again. Okay, so if you're just memorizing the endings, you would simply chant these over and over again to yourself until you had them. Us, ui, u, us, ibus, ibus. Let's add a word to it, though. I always like to learn the endings with a word. Let's add the word arc. Arcus means bow. Arcus means bow. Arcus means of the bow, so clearly you're going to have to use some context here in the sentence. Arcui means to the bow. That's the only time you'll see that one show up, so that's easy. Arcum means the bow, like I have a bow. Habao arcum, you would say. Habao arcum, I have a bow. Arcu, in the bow, so you could say sagita in arcu est. The arrow is in the bow or on the bow. Bows, arcus, of the bows, arcuum, to the bows, archibus, C in front of an I makes a ch sound in ecclesiastical Latin, which is the pronunciation I use. In classical Latin it would just be archibus. Arcus, the bows, so if I have several bows in my room, they're hanging up, I'm proud of them. Habao arcus, you could say. Last one, ablative, archibus, so sagite in archibus sunt, or sagite in archibus sunt, if you use classical pronunciation, which I don't prefer at all. I much more prefer it's called Italian pronunciation, ecclesiastical pronunciation, or church pronunciation. So there you go, there are the endings. Us, ui, u, us, ibus, ibus, attached to a word. So we have bow, of the bow, to the bow, in the bow, the bows, of the bows, to the bows, in the bows, or on the bows. Of course, there are other fourth declension words. Here are a few. Motus means movement, and this is where we get the word motion. Of course, motion is movement. Lacus means lake, and that is the source of our English word lake, and the Italian, and I think Spanish too, but I'm not sure about that, lago. Passus means pace. Interestingly enough, this is where our word mile comes from. It actually comes from a Roman phrase, mille passus. Mille passus means 1,000 paces. That was the Roman mile, mille passus. And from it we derived the English word mile from this phrase, 1,000 paces. Impetus means attack, and we have the English word impetus in our language. An impetus is an urge or a drive to move, an urge or a drive to do something. Situs is location, and from situs, location, we get site and situated. If you want to learn more about English and the Greek and Latin influence on English, visit DwaneThomas.com. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe on the subscribe button below. See you next time, guys.